Welcome back to the Chris McPherson Show for another Daily Dose episode, and it's time to talk the ATP Tour finals. Again, we are to the final of the finals. And again, of course, it is, as was predicted by many, the top two players in the world by some distance. They advance through. Carlos Alcaraz taking on Jannik Sinner. It's going to be a huge match between these two young rivals. We've been treated to many classic matchups between them, and we're going to sit down and preview it all. But of course, if this is your first time or you're returning and enjoying the show, make sure to hit subscribe, whether that's on YouTube or another platform that you're tuning in on, your favorite podcast platforms. We'd really appreciate it. Hit subscribe, hit the bell notification where they're available so that you get the notifications and updates as well when we're dropping more daily doses, in their shoes episodes that there'll be some more of coming, or even our live watch-alongs that we'll be doing on plenty of live sport across the Aussie summer and onwards. But if not, make sure to jump into our social medias as well. At the Chris Mack Show is where you can find us on all your favourite social media platforms. And we would love to have you on board and getting involved in the comments there and engaging with us. But it is time to talk the ATP Tour finals. And as many predicted off the back of dominant seasons, Jannik Sinner, 57-6 on the year. Carlos Alcaraz, 71-8. The two of them have advanced unscathed through to the final of the ATP Tour finals. For Carlos Alcaraz, he won the group stage matches up against Lorenzo Musetti 4-1. He then went down in the first set against Taylor Fritz, but fought back to win 6-7, 7-5, 6-3 in three sets. And we're missing the Alex de Minaur match, which he started with first, which was 7-6, 6-2. A tight tie-break, but then advanced with it, taking out the Aussie. It was then the semi-finals where he was convincing 6-2, 6-4, playing statistically one of his best matches of the year. That first set of a 6-2 win was his best set statistically of the year across a number of categories, and he was absolutely dominant. Those numbers all thanks to the team at Tennis Insights. You can find them at tennis_insights on X, and they provide some wonderful stats there as well to check out to keep you up to date with some more of the tennis. But both these players are absolutely reaching their pinnacle, the crescendo of their season, and realistically their careers to this point. At this point, they're in phenomenal form. They're both serving really well. But Alcaraz has absolutely demolished those in his path to get here, as has Jannik Sinner. He has not dropped a set on his way to the final. He has won some phenomenal amount of matches going back to his withdrawal at the Shanghai Masters. He's now 14 in a row. He's won something like 26 of his last 30 matches. That is just absolutely phenomenal. 26 of 28, I should say, not 26 of 30. That goes back, and he's had two walkovers in that in there as well in his last 30 matches. So realistically, I think he's only lost something like one of his last 34 matches off his own racket completely. Injury having undone him way back at the Cincinnati Masters, where he retired in the first set to Jannik Sinner, and then again at Shanghai, where he had to withdraw in the third set against Talon Griekspoor, where he was one set all. So it has been phenomenal since then. He took out the Vienna Masters title, the Vienna Open title, beating the likes of Zverev, de Minaur, Bublik along the way. He then took out the Paris Masters, where again he beat Zverev, he beat Shelton, he beat Auger-Aliassime in the final, and now the ATP Tour finals. 5-1 against Auger-Aliassime, 3-6 against Shelton, 4-3 against Zverev. He has been dominant, and then he continued that, extending his huge record against Alex de Minaur, keeping it unbeaten, that record. So 7-5, 6-2 in the semi-final, easily advancing through in the early hours of Sunday morning Australian time. And he sets up a huge matchup again with Carlos Alcaraz. As I said, they're both at their absolute prime. The indoor hardcourt factor, does that play into that? Well, it's going to be interesting. We know that Alcaraz will finish this season as year-end number one, but Jannik Sinner is looking to go back-to-back in the Tour finals. He won it last year. He lost the final in 2023 to Novak Djokovic, 6-3, 6-3. Last year it was 6-4, 6-4 over Taylor Fritz. So what can he do here? The record between them, Alcaraz holds a significant head-to-head lead, 10-5, the younger man, 22 versus Sinner's 24. But again, you have a look at it on hard courts. They've both had wins. Most recently, Alcaraz got it done in the final of the US Open. We know that. He also had that retirement win in the lead up to that in August over Sinner in Cincinnati. He's won 6 of their last 7 encounters. And when it comes to hard courts as well, he's got the wood there, certainly. He's won the last 4 encounters, including the 2024 Indian Wells match, the 2024's China Open in Beijing, and then those two matches we just mentioned, the US Open final and also the Cincinnati Open walkover. Sinner has had luck going back to the China Open in 2023 and Miami in 2023. But then again, Alcaraz winning a couple before then. They have only clashed once before on the indoor hard courts, which goes all the way back to the Paris Masters in 2021, where Carlos Alcaraz, an unseeded player at that point, took out Jannik Sinner, the 8th seed, 6 and 5. That was actually their first professional full tour matchup. They had played once before in a challenger. But again, Alcaraz just keeping the dominant record there. Sinner in those all those clashes between the hard courts. They've played 9 times and Sinner just the 2 wins. So we know Alcaraz had that big run, which Sinner broke at Wimbledon. So it's going to be interesting to see whether he can back that up. It's going to be a huge clash. As I said, both of these guys statistically in their best form to date. They're absolutely building on a big year. Will Sinner, being the fresher after that suspension earlier in the year, come over? Will it be the form carrying on for Carlos Alcaraz? It's really going to come down to a few pieces here. Alcaraz really needs to get his serve firing. Sinner has been absolutely killing his serve, both first and second at this tournament. Alcaraz has spent a little bit more time on court, so it'll be interesting to see. He's played an extra 10 games and an extra set to get to this point. So it's an interesting one. As I said, they've a 7-2 record between the two of them on hard courts. 1-love to Alcaraz on the indoor hard courts. It's going to be a huge clash in the early hours of what is Monday morning in Australia. It should be a 4 a.m. start, roughly our time. So it's going to be huge. Well worth getting up early for to watch these top 2 players. They'll finish 1 and 2 in the world and by some distance go head to head. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be big. Cannot wait to see it. We've got a 4-time Grand Slam champion in Jannik Sinner up against a 6-time Grand Slam winner in Carlos Alcaraz. Again, Alcaraz just 22, 6 slams to his name, 25 tour titles. Sinner 24 with 24 titles. It's quite phenomenal to think these records. When we look at someone like a Novak Djokovic, who has, only in the last 12 months ticked up his 100th title. These guys are on track to be chasing that down. Who can stop them over the coming years? That is the big question, because based on what we've seen here in Turin, it doesn't look like anyone's coming after them. Certainly can't wait for this one. It's going to be massive. I think with Sinner's serve, he should go in a slight favourite, but again, it's going to be a big question as to who comes in. I think Sinner on the indoor hard courts in recent times has been slightly better, but again, Alcaraz had that win at the US Open. I'm going to go Sinner to get it done in 3. There's just something that says Alcaraz has claimed the year-end number 1. Sinner's a little more motivated here. He'll go back-to-back. Alcaraz, though, in his first ATP Tour finals, as he tried to turn up the gears, it's going to be an absolute cracker. Well worth getting up early, as I said. But as always, we're going to go Sinner 2-1, maybe something like 4-6, 6-3, 7-5, something like that. I don't think there'll be a lot in it. It'll be tight. It'll be a thriller. It'll be great to watch. We can't wait. But as always, a big thank you for tuning in. We'll have a wrap after this. There'll be some more Daily Dose episodes dropping on Monday and Tuesday this week, covering off some cricket and basketball as well. So make sure you tune in. As I said at the start, if you haven't already, hit subscribe down below on your either YouTube or your favorite podcast platform that you tuned in on. Hit the bell notification and follow us along on all your favorite social media channels, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or X. At The Chris Mack Show is where you can find us. Until next time, a big thank you again for tuning in to your home of the black and white of sports. No grey opinions here.